Hello everyone! So for today's video I have a houseplant maintenance task that I need to take care of, which involves my Pothos curtain, which is right behind me. So this is kind of, I feel like, my favorite kind of plant related thing I've put together inside because it just kind of fits in as part of the decor. And it's definitely something that people take notice of when they come into this room. Now I call it a pothos curtain, even though it has both pothos and philodendron vines in it. And it's not really a curtain, or at least it's not functioning as a curtain, like, you know, blocking off sections of a room or, you know, blocking off part of the shower. It is more just like wall decor, but curtain made the most sense to me, so that's what I'm going with. If you can think of something better to call it, let me know. But what I'm gonna do is, well, I'll take it off the wall, I kind of show you how I put it together. Because all of this is made from propagation, so plants that I already had. And I think it's been almost 3 years. I think it was January of 2020 or 2021. I'll look back on Instagram and see if I can figure out when I actually made this. But you can see now that it's kind of hitting at the couch where I want it to be. So what I have to do today is I'm going to add some more propagations to it, which I've been doing over time. I need to trim the vines that are hanging down behind the couch. And I also want to just make sure there aren't any pests or anything living inside of the plant, because I have had one pest issue with this in the past, I think last year. So let me get it off the wall. I'll show you it a bit more up close, talk to you about how I put it together, and then we'll get the maintenance tasks done for today. So I just, ooh, the background looks so bare without the plant there. Anyway, I scrolled back through Instagram and I found when I first planted it, which was August of 2020. So let me give you a close-up. Here she is. I don't think you can see much from the front, which is good, but if I turn it around the back, this is just a white plastic flower box that I got on Amazon. It actually came in a set of 3. This one was the longest one. I'd say it's definitely over 2 feet long. Maybe it's about 30 inches. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it came in a pack of 3 with 2 shorter ones. It does have drain holes. Can you see that on the bottom? So I do take this off the shelf to water it. I actually set it in a shower. I water it, I let it drain before I put it back up. Although the shelf itself, so let me tilt you up here. So that is the shelf. I got it from Target. Now I don't actively want to destroy things, but I got a cheaper shelf purposefully so that if this does leak any water, I won't feel as bad. They do have flower boxes that come with like saucers underneath that are the same size. This one just didn't, but so far I haven't had any issues. Actually, oh, there's a spider that was probably living in this plant that is now not happy with me. Can you see the spider right there? Yeah, I definitely think I just disturbed its home. So sorry about that. What I wanted to do was jump up here and just see if there's been any damage, and I think you can see that. I mean, everything still looks pretty good. So I've had no issues. And this shelf I just got, because I measured, I knew the size of the flower box. I had that already, so then I just got a shelf that was just about that same size. So the spider is now inside the couch, or at least crawled in between the couch cushions. I'm not as afraid of spiders as I used to be. I think when you work in the garden, you get more used to the bugs and you understand how beneficial they are, but I still don't enjoy spending time around them, especially when I'm surprised by them. So although I do feel bad disturbing what was probably its home in my plant curtain, I wish I knew where it went, because now I'm just like, ooh, am I gonna find a spider there or not? But anyway, well, let's get back to talking about this plant. So if I pull it back up here, you can see that there are a few different types of plants in here. So I have Pothos, which is why, again, I call it the Pothos plant curtain. I also have philodendrons, and then of philodendrons, I have 2 different types. So I don't know what the regular philodendron is, but something that doesn't have any variegation. And then up here at front, you can see the variegation with the kind of neon colored leaves, and that is a philodendron Brazil. So I think those are the only 3 different types of plants I have in here, because those are the 3 plants that I propagated from. So like I said, all of this is propagations from plants I've already had. It's been almost 2.5 years. I've trimmed this multiple times. So I'll trim, I'll propagate, I'll add it back in to thicken up the curtain. It's kind of at a good thickness right now. So I think I'm pretty happy. I am gonna add one more vine in a corner where another vine didn't make it when I propagated it. For the most part though, all the vines survive. It's pretty easy maintenance-wise to take care of. I do find that I prefer the philodendron a bit more compared to the pothos, although I think it's a pothos vine. It is, that I have to add in there. So the philodendron, it's just bushier. The leaves are closer together. So that's a philodendron right there in the corner. So it does a better job of hiding or obscuring the flower box, so it makes it thicker a lot faster. Whereas if I only had pothos, it definitely wouldn't be as thick. But the pothos seems to grow longer a lot faster. So with the length, I like the pothos. With the thickness, I like the philodendron. So having them all in here together makes me really happy. I have had some questions as far as, what am I going to do when this is root bound? I haven't figured that out yet. I think what I'll probably do if it does get super root bound is just take out some of the vines, so like kind of divide it. Maybe I'll make another plant curtain. I could have 2 of them. So I would never completely get rid of this or like repot it into, let's say, a bigger flower box. This is a good size for what I want. So I'd probably just divide anything once it does get root bound. If it kind of starts to look like it's dying and unhappy, that is going to be my plan because I really just love having this here. But let's go ahead, I'll show you the propagation. We'll do some cleanup of this plant and then we will get it back up on its spot. The vine I'm going to use to plant into the curtain is this one that I have propagating in my candelabra. Now, right now it's the only vine in there. I will propagate a few more that I cut off of the curtain, but typically I have a lot more propagations in winter, but I'm not doing that because with the redesign, I don't want to have more things that I have to figure out how to move. So I'm not going to be propagating as much this winter, but I'll just go ahead and you can see here, the roots have actually already started to grow in a circle because I probably should have taken this out and done this earlier, but you can see that is a good root system for starting off with this propagation. So the first thing I'm going to do is just remove some of the dead leaves from the soil, and yes, I did put a glove on because I don't want to be surprised by spiders with my bare hands. But this I just like to do just to clean up the soil a little bit, get those dead leaves out, and I'll probably just throw those in the composter outside because I have a bag of kitchen scraps to add to that today too. So this right here is the corner I'm going to add the vine into. So I'm just going to dig out a small hole that you definitely cannot tell I dug out with how dark it is in there, but just dig out a hole, take the end with all of the roots, stick it in there, and then I'm going to probably need 2 hands to cover it up. So be right back. So the curtain is now back up on the shelf, and what I'm going to do now is take these scissors and trim right where it hits the couch. Because one, that helps just create, again, a thicker look overall without having the vines kind of, some of them being longer while most of the thickness is at the top. It's kind of keeping them in line more with the philodendron length. And then also, if it's hanging behind the couch, I can't really see it. So I would rather make some more vines to propagate and then put them either in a different plant, this plant, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet, but that way I can kind of take off the plant where you can't see it anymore and turn it into something new. So let's go ahead and snip. Now, of course, the vines that I just trimmed are going to continue to grow because that's what happens when you trim a plant, or like I've done, accidentally slam a vine in a door and it breaks. But it will keep growing longer, so I'll just continue to trim as the vines kind of hit that part of the couch. But what I ended up with were 5 vines, and I can't tell there's 5 here, all bundled up in my hand, but this actually works out perfectly for my candelabra because there are 5 test tubes. So it's almost like I planned it, but I definitely did not. Now, I like to water propagate my vines. That's what I've had the most success with. I don't add anything to the water. I don't really do anything special except for change the water once a week when I go around watering my plants, and I haven't had any issues. I'd say, geez, I'm not sure, like 95% of the things that I propagate are successful. So if it's easy and it works, that's what I'm gonna stick with. But what I do is I take these vines and then I just remove 1, maybe 2 leaves at the bottom, but enough because the node where the leaf came off of, that's where the root's gonna grow. But you need enough, at least for me, to fit inside of the test tube. So if I do the test tube up to here, that'll hang like that, and that should work. So I will get the leaves removed and then we will fill up the candelabra with these propagations. And there she is, all filled. I absolutely love having this as a propagation station. All right, so we are done with all the maintenance work I had to do on my pothos curtain. I really do love this so much. I like, if I can, to find a way to use plants in the decor that's not just like a plant sitting somewhere. So if I can incorporate the plant, like here, this wall was bare, so I know I could get like large pieces of art. I do have 2 kind of artwork pictures there, but artwork can be expensive, and plants, I mean, plants can be expensive, some of them. I don't buy expensive plants because I don't want to kill something that costs that much. But I mean, this whole curtain I made from plants that I already had, and it does kind of make a statement in this room. I have some trailing pothos in my office that cover the walls, 2 different corners there. So if I can use plants to create interest in a room, I really like to do that. So that is going to be everything for this video. Let me know, 1, if you have a better name for a pothos curtain than calling it just a curtain. 2, let me know if there's any other ways that you use houseplants kind of creatively or decoratively in your home. And then also let me know if you have any questions about this in particular. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.